Hello again, welcome back. We're going to continue talking about React Native, and we're going to continue solving this problem the challenge problem that I presented earlier, which is to show the list of animals and then show a detail screen for those animals, right? So if I tap on the animal, I get to the detail screen. We've solved that, but the detail screen now needs to display the animal data, okay? So in the previous video, we passed this show details function to the cell, the list cell, right? And the list cell calls it when you tap on it, right? So when you tap the touchable highlight, it's going to call on press and call show details for us, right? So what we need to do now is we need to include some data here to show. So we're going to show some data here, okay? Instead of the ID, let's replace that. And what I want to do is I'm going to just replace it with item, okay? And there's a few ways we could work with this. You could actually just replace it with the index, because the index will match the data here, and then you could import this data into your cell or your details screen and then look up the cat. I'm just going to take the item here and pass that whole thing along, okay? I think for me that'll be a little bit easier. So I'm going to just put item here, and so that should create an object with item, and the value will be the item object, right? Which will be one of our cat and dog or dog breeds, right? So I'm just going to write it like this because that's the shorthand form. And now our details screen is going to be broken because if I tap here, actually I guess it isn't broken, but I don't get the ID, but it's not, at least it's not crashing, right? But now we got to use the item data, okay? So let's go to details, and I got route.params, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to item here, okay? And now I can display the item in here. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe the back button is useful, or the go home button could be useful. Maybe I'll leave these in here, or I'll leave one or the other. Maybe I'll leave the home button, because that's probably what we want to do, even though go back is going to really do the same thing, right? So actually any one of those three buttons, well, except for that first one, I guess, goes to the next animal. You know, we could use that to go to the next animal. I don't know. Anyway, let's do it this way. So I'm going to just keep this home button, okay? So I got my home button, and then I got my details screen text. But instead of saying details screen, why don't we change this to show item.breed? Okay, so it says American Bobtail. If I go home and then I click on Balinese, it says Balinese. So that's really great. So now your challenge is to turn the item, like the extra properties, into text fields that we can display here, right? So again, we could use map, right? So we could say, how about first we need to get a list of keys. So let's say keys equals, and then we'll do object dot keys, and I'll put item here, and then I'm going to filter. So I'm going to just say dot filter, and remember I'm going to filter out the breed name, okay? So I'm going to say, how about let's call that a key, and say let's return it as long as key does not equal breed. Okay, and then now we can turn these into objects, right? So I have this list of keys right here, and we can display them. So maybe here I will map my keys to some text objects. So let's do key equals text object. And again, this might be a spot to make a component, right? We did that earlier, so you could use your previous component here maybe, right? But I'm going to just do it this way. So I'm going to say key right there, okay? Oh, so I got Balinese, affectionate with family, amount of shedding. I don't have the value here, so I'll want to put the value in there, right? So let's do item bracket key, and that should give me the value, right? So 4, 3, 4, 4, 2, 4, right? Okay, so that's working pretty good. Let's go back, go home now, and if I go to Bengal cats, right, I get their list of stuff. So that's working pretty good. So we solved that problem. Yeah, I guess that actually almost solves everything there. I guess really it does solve the basic challenge, but let's extend the challenge a little bit because this kind of leaves a little bit to be desired, right? It doesn't read that well. And with the dogs, you have a lot of information. So if we make this any larger, it's going to be hard to read. It might go off the screen. So let me leave you with another challenge here. And this challenge is to, one, we'll do it in a couple steps here. Challenge number 1 is style the text that's here. Okay? Put the name of the breed in the center, larger at the top. Put the name of the key here, or the name of the feature, right, on the left side with the value on the right. And then style this so it's a little bit bigger. Okay? Challenge 1, right? So that's all challenge 1. Challenge number 2. Challenge number 2 is use a flat list here. Okay, use the flat list here to display the name or the feature name and the value, right? And what that will do for us is it'll give us rows, so it'll be cells that look like this, but each one of these cells will have one of the features in it with the value here and the name, or with the name here and the value on the other side. And if we have more features than fit on the screen, you'll be able to scroll. Okay, so give that a try. Challenge 1 is just to style the text in what we have here. Challenge number 2 is to use a flat list here. Okay, so in place of this keys.map into text objects, we would use the flat list. Okay, so good luck on that challenge, and then maybe I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.